Welcome to the GTN Show.
We're here in St. George for the Ironman World Champs, and we're going to be bringing you all the action behind the scenes of the first Ironman World Champs in over 2 years.
Yeah, we thought we would start here on the bike course. I mean, it's what everyone is talking about, and it's certainly going to be a defining feature of this race.
Yeah, so let's go see what it's like. The St. George course is going to be tough, we know that, and if you're looking for a full course preview, we've actually got a video on that on our channel and our Ironman World Champs preview. But we thought we'd come here to Snow Canyon to see just how tough it's going to be. It's not exactly a mountain, but it comes 100 miles into the bike course and it gets pretty steep. Well, that is certainly going to hurt a few people. And we didn't even ride 100 miles beforehand.
Yeah, I mean, this headwind is not really helping matters,
No.
but it is absolutely stunning. I mean, we get to appreciate this gorgeous scenery.
Yeah, I'm not sure many competitors are going to be appreciating the scenery on race day, though.
No.
Well, we're certainly appreciating it today. Anyway, on with the show.
Well, that was stunning, but sadly we haven't got the time or the fitness to ride the whole course. So yeah, we've set up here to crack on with the rest of the show, and we're going to start by taking a quick look through some of the social media from the past week, and there's a continuing theme around the World Championships.
Yeah, it's actually been a bit of a theme for the last few weeks, unfortunately. It's pros pulling out of the World Championships, and this is a big one.
Yeah, sadly, Laura Phillip has had to pull the plug. She's been kind of keeping everyone updated on her post, saying she's been feeling a bit ill and the doctor was going to reassess. And she said if it was any other race, then, you know, I might have, well, probably wouldn't go because it's not sensible. And she was still going to change her flight, hasn't made it out here. And then just a couple of days ago has announced that she does actually have COVID. Yep, another one has...
Yeah. Very frustrating. She was obviously a favourite. She's number one on the PTO world ranking, and she was a favourite for this race. I think this course probably suits her. And as she says in her post, it's been 2.5 years waiting for this race, and her training's gone really well. And now COVID has struck her down at the worst possible time. This is on top of Javier Gomez been taken out with COVID, Joe Skipper been taken out with COVID, and various other withdrawals. It's getting a bit frustrating, to be honest.
Yeah, it is. There was another one here which someone did mention actually on last week's show that we'd missed, but we filmed a couple of days before. Sarah Sphinx admitted that she's also not in top condition and is just not ready to head out here, sadly.
Yeah, she raced that fastest Ironman in the world at the same time Christian Blumenfeld did his in Cozumel. And yeah, unfortunately, she's another one that's not going to be racing yet, but still plenty of athletes, and we're here to cover it all, so we're still pretty excited. And it's a new course, so it'll be exciting.
Yeah.
Also, Sam Long out here getting ready for the race, and he had a bit of a bike crash. This is obviously somewhat old news. Again, this happened while we were filming last week's show, but yeah, he got taken out by a careless driver, let's say. The driver actually said afterwards, "You came faster than I thought," which every cyclist in the world will cringe
you know
at.
that feeling, don't you? Yeah,
it's so frustrating. But he did get off relatively unscathed, few scratches, but he's still fully on for the race, which we're pretty excited about. That's definitely good news. That could have easily taken him out, but he has brushed it off and says he's going to be fully ready for the race.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Well, moving away from Worlds for a moment, there's been an announcement from Flora Duffy saying which 70.3 she is going to race. And we've been waiting. She's been teasing us for a while, hasn't she? Putting up pictures of her getting her bike fit on her TT bike, and she has now announced she's going to be racing the Chattanooga 70.3, which doubles up as a North American Championship. Yeah,
that with the goal to qualify for the Ironman 70.3 World Champs at the end of the year. So yeah, hopefully she does tick that box, because then she can get on with the WTS series, and we'll see her again at the 70.3 World Champs at the end of the year, which is, well, Olympic gold medalist going for 70.3 World Champs will definitely add some spice to that race.
Yeah, exactly. Exciting. Our final piece we spotted, again, was a few days ago, but it was a bit of a ding-dong with Tim Don. Now, Kat Matthews posted this on her story, and she had spotted that Tim was doing a piece, I think I saw it on the PTO's social media, but talking about Kat Matthews for the sub-8 and saying, well, 3 weeks ago, no one would even have known who she was, and that, you know, he thinks she can get close to sub-8. Now, Well, that definitely riled Kat, I think it's fair to say. And she retaliated with, well, there's an article actually that's gone out with, I know I can go sub 8 hours. And then Tim actually posted that. So it was a good bit of banter, I think, going on between those
I think
two.
everyone's looking forward to that sub 8. Obviously, Kat being the sub in for sub 8 for Lucy Charles Barkley, who's out of that, unfortunately. But I think Kat's a worthy replacement, and she's definitely on quite a few people's radar, especially with so many people pulling out of this race. Kat Matthews might be an Ironman World Champion after this weekend.
Yeah, Tim Don will have to eat those words, won't he?
Yeah. Okay, now it's time for Tri News. And starting with this, the Phoenix Foundation has announced that triple Olympic medalist Johnny Brownlee and Imogen Simmons have been announced as ambassadors for the program.
Yeah, well, Chris McCormick, the board member from the Phoenix Foundation, has said we wanted to build a global team of ambassadors who represent the mindset, which is to be good at anything. It's about continually getting up again after getting knocked down, to triumph through adversity and stay true to themselves. Each of their journey shows that play and sport is a worthy pursuit. They're committed to engaging with the next generation and passing that passion on. Well, I think both Imogen and Johnny have had their fair share of knockbacks, haven't they? So pretty good ambassadors,
exactly.
I'd say.
Yeah, so they're going to use this team to engage the youngsters and get them into sport and inspired by sport through various events and programs throughout the year, which is pretty exciting. It's good work that the Phoenix Foundation is doing. Obviously, they're also the supporters of the Sub 7, Sub 8 project, so we'll see a bit more of them there.
We will be. Well, talking of good news and just lovely stories within triathlon, there's one here that Amazon are sponsoring the Boston Kids Triathlon, and they're actually making the entries free for this event in July, which I think is just awesome. It's what triathlon's all about, getting people into the sport, and what a better way. Yeah,
they've come on as a supporter, and they've literally said, we're going to support the Kids Day at the Boston Triathlon Weekend, and all of the events are free, which is great. I mean, no excuse for the kids not to get involved. We like to see more kids involved, so that's brilliant. Keep it up, Amazon. You see that at more events.
Yeah.
So, and then we also have this, a world record for the most consecutive marathons by a woman ever.
Yeah.
And it's done by someone who doesn't actually have two legs.
That's amazing, isn't it? So Jackie Hunt Brosma, who is a single leg amputee who actually lost her leg due to cancer, it's just the most amazing role model, because she first of all broke the record for running 100 miles on a treadmill in under 24 hours for an amputee, and now she's gone on and smashed the record for the consecutive marathons in consecutive days, which stood at 100, which was a pretty nice round number, isn't it? But she didn't stop at 101. She aimed to go for 102, and then for some reason, I haven't quite managed to work out why from reading this, she actually didn't stop until she got to 104. And yeah, some pretty impressive stats. She's the day after, she's got day one and rest day number one. And I'm chasing a new world record for the most consecutive rest days, which I like.
Yeah, as you would after 104 marathons and 104 days. I'd take a few days off.
Yeah,
myself.
but the most, I think some of the exciting bits here are the stats. So she ran a total of 2,728 miles. Through 10 pairs of shoes, only one running blade though, 400 gels, and yeah, the list goes on. 200 boiled potatoes, 20 pizzas, 20 gummy worms, and I saw actually Courtney Dolewater said 200 gummy worms, only 200 gummy worms.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like enough.
That's only 2 a day.
But 400 gels, wow, that's a lot. I mean, I guess you're spreading it out over 104 marathons, but still, sounds like a lot of gels.
Yeah, and she was doing this though with a purpose. So she was raising money for an amputee charity to basically help amputees to be able to run and get a prosthetic designed for running, because they cost between 10 and 20,000 pounds. And she's currently, I think, raised over 80 grand.
And we thought carbon shoes were expensive.
Exactly. But I think the link for her fundraising is going to be in the description below. So do go and check that out and support a very impressive feat there.
And speaking of gels, we have some news of our own.
I like that link, James. Lovely.
Well, GTN is very proud to announce that Precision Fuel and Hydration has come on as a partner for the channel. They'll be working with us through various videos, including some this week. They're actually on their way out here to St. George right now, and they'll be doing some videos with us and with some of their pros about sweat testing. We're going to be sweat tested, and various pros are going to get sweat tested. We're going to look at the in-depth at their nutrition and various other, well, interesting things that we can bring you on the channel in the future. So we're very excited about this new partnership. And now it's time for What the Tech, and we're going to keep this fairly brief today in the show because we actually have a full tech feature coming out later in the week where we're going to take a walk around St. George and the expo and see all the stuff that's been released. We've heard rumors of a new bike and a new kit range from some sponsors and various other things, so stay tuned for that later on in the week. But we have noticed a few things this week. you've probably heard about this. It's all over the news wires. Wahoo acquired RGT last week. RGT stands for Road Grand Tours, and it's basically a online platform, a live view where you can ride your bike online, much like Zwift, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. And you've probably very well aware that Zwift used to very much promote Wahoo and all their adverts. Everyone's using all the Wahoo products, which work really well with Zwift. But there's also been rumours that Zwift, whether it's in retaliation or they're ahead of the game, who knows, but there's rumours that they are going to be releasing their own hardware. So there's kind of a bit of a split in the industry happening, which is, I guess, going to add competition. And, well, I mean, competition is always good. I mean, us as consumers, we kind of win in that situation. Let's hope.
We hope so. I mean, I guess this isn't really tech news. There's no real tech that we're showing you. But I think it probably does bode well for future tech news, because obviously this is somewhat of a division in the whole industry where you're going to see these two go up against each other. Wahoo going into the virtual platform game, but also Zwift going into the hardware for virtual platforms game. And yeah, who's going to come out on top?
Yeah,
and who's going to make the best stuff? Because right now they both have the best stuff.
Well, James, I know you're pretty excited about that, but we have some even more exciting news at GTN. Guess who is going to be wearing the world's fastest tri-suit?
The world's fastest triathlete?
Or us?
Oh, yeah, us. We're going to be wearing the world's fastest tri-suit. And the world's fastest. Yeah, they do sponsor the world's fastest triathlete, Christian Blumenfeld, and Lisa Norden and Maurice Clavel.
We're talking about Trimtex. We haven't even announced who we're talking about here.
Trimtex. They are come on board as a brand partner for us, so we're going to be in the world's fastest tri-suit. We need all the help we can get, so we're pretty excited about it.
I hope it just makes us look fast. That's what it really counts on the channel.
Yeah, exactly.
Doesn't matter how fast we are, just how fast we look.
Looking good. Yeah, but there are quite a few pros out there that are wearing these suits. They do have a Christian Blumenfeld range coming out, which we'll tell you more about later on in the week, and also they claim to have the world's fastest tri-suit. We haven't actually tried it yet, but we look forward to that. And apparently there's a few pros out there at St. George who are wearing the suit without actually anyone knowing that they're wearing the suit, just because it's so fast. Now, a few weeks ago, we unboxed some new Orca wetsuits, and we gave away a couple. We had a competition for you, and it's time to announce those winners of the Orca Athlex Flow wetsuits.
Well done, James. Yes, the winners are Richard Fletcher and Kim Teben. So congratulations, guys. We will be in touch and getting those wetsuits out to you. On to race news now, and we might only be a week out from Ironman World Champs, but there were still three quite exciting, well, very exciting races actually. We had Ironman Australia over in Port Macquarie, and we know that Sarah Crowley, who's done very well in Kona in the past, was focusing on this and missing the World Championships, and she did manage to take the win, but she was pushed until the end. It was Rebecca Clark in second, who was pretty much with her until the final part of the run, and then third place went to Courtney Gillifian.
Yeah. And on the men's side, Tim van Berkel, who's been trying to win Ironman Australia for pretty much his whole career, finally got that win, that big win. He ran away with it on the run, didn't he? He ran a 2:45 and no one was anywhere near him. Josh Amberger in second and Jack Moody in third there. And then we also had a half distance on the weekend in Italy, a challenge Riccioni, and you can't actually say that without lifting your hand up and saying Riccioni. Mark completely butchered that last week, but I've learned how to say it.
Drop a minute.
Yeah, exactly. The winner on that side was Thomas Stiga with Mattia Seccarelli. I haven't learned how to say that in
yeah,
Italian
you can't.
yet.
Mark will get you back next week.
And Florian Selversberg was in third to round out that podium.
Well, in the women's race, Emma Pallant-Brown dominated with an incredible run performance. I think she was pleased to put the demons away after Challenge Miami when it all fell apart, completing a 3:56.50, almost 10 minutes ahead of Lucy Byram from Great Britain. It was Marta Bernardi of Italy had a strong run to finish third. India Lee just off the podium in fourth.
And then we had an even shorter race in Florida at St. Anthony's, one of those iconic non-drafting Olympic distance races, and it was a real close battle on the men's side. In fact, the top three were separated by 5 seconds. Matt Sharp from Canada taking the win there, with Matt McElroy from the USA in second and Ben Canute, also from the USA, in third.
Well, the women's race was more of a done deal from the start, actually. I think it was quite a choppy swim, and Paula Finley took full advantage of that to take the lead, put the power down on the bike, and didn't really look back. So she had a dominating performance to take the win. It was Amelia Rose Watkinson who finished in second, and Amy Sloan of the USA in third.
Yeah, Canadians winning both of those.
Yeah.
And now it's time to take a look at all those things you've sent in to us for our Pinboard. And remember, you can send your own triathlon related content. Use the link that's on screen right now to upload anything triathlon related, whether it's a race or a training event or whatever photos you have or videos, anything. We'd love to see it. Starting with this one from Patrick in Dorset, and he says He's taken in all the sights during his glorious gravel debut around the glorious Dorset Gravel X. It was event 15 as part of my Project 52. 52 events in 52 weeks to raise money for the Youth Sports Trust. That's quite a cool project. I like that.
It's awesome,
52
isn't
events
it?
in
Yeah.
52. Well,
And it's
just gotta
manageable,
enter
but keeps you
a week
in...
an event every week.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty hard. Anyway, he said it was inspired by Fraser Cartmell going home to take on Keltman. I've managed to bag myself an entry for my first long distance try as part of his 52 events, and that'll be event number 27. Well, good luck with that, Patrick.
Well, a pretty cool challenge, but also a pretty cool photo. If you take a look, that's Old Harry's Rocks in the background, apparently. Well, our next one is from James on his Felt IA. No, not this James. It says halfway up the mountain though. We've already climbed to the top. Anyway, he says a visit to Tucson, Arizona for some sunshine and training. I mean, we don't know where he's gone from to find that sun, but looks like he's making the most of it.
And finally, I have this from Donald on his Cervelo P series in the Bella Houston cycle track in Glasgow. He says, I'm just doing some aero work after a busy weekend, and a random acquaintance snapped this great shot in the evening sun. And it is a great shot. He looks really aero in that
I mean,
position.
look at that. It's sunny and it's Glasgow. I mean,
Yeah.
This is the UK, guys, for those of you who don't know. Yeah. It is great to see so many of you out on your bikes enjoying the sunshine. Well, if that is you or you're doing anything else to do with triathlon, you've got a photo of it, make sure you share it using the uploader.
Well, we didn't have a caption competition last week, but it's back this week. So remember to leave your captions down below using the hashtag Caption Competition, and you could be winning a swim cap or a GTN bottle next week. All you've got to do is write the best caption for this photo, and it's from Challenge Riccioni. I got to say
We kept it in just to give you a chance to say that again, James.
Yeah, these ladies looking very happy at the start of that swim. I don't actually have a caption for that one. They do look very happy though, don't they?
They do, and if you don't have one, James, I mean, I've got no chance. This is at the end of a long day. Going to blame jet lag. We've made it through the show this far, and I'm sure you guys can do some great caption competition suggestions for us.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure almost made it through the show. You're nearly there, nearly there.
You know what to do. Leave those suggestions in the comment section below. But anyway, we're going to be on it for the rest of the week. There's loads of stuff coming from St George here. We've got the tech tour, which we've already mentioned. We'll be bringing all the new tech that we've been desperately waiting to see. We've also got a day in the life of Leon Chevalier ahead of his race, so keep an eye for those.
Yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more all of that content that Heather just spoke about, and obviously more triathlon content. And if you're looking for something to watch right now, Heather and I and a couple of guests did a mixed relay last week, so you can watch that right now.